I don't know when. I think it slowly dawned on all of us in this business. It might have been some point in my LA Times experience, maybe mid-90s, when I looked around and not that many people on my block in Long Beach were getting the newspaper. I mean, they talked about the paper. They kind of knew what was in it, but I didn't see it being delivered to that many people. That's scary. Now I'm getting to the point now I'm the only person in my, in my subdivision, where we want to call it, about 150 homes, that I think gets the Mercury News. That's the literal thing that scares you. This is the delivery system. This is what funds the newspaper. We can talk all about numbers and ad revenue and classifieds, but when people aren't buying the newspaper, that is the reason why it is going away. It's still on the internet. It's still important. I write a story. People seem to know about it. I don't know where it gets delivered because I just don't see it. I do not see it get. I want to go out one of these mornings. I joke to myself, go out at 5 a.m. with one of these delivery drivers. And how many do they actually deliver? Because there aren't that many in my area, and you would think there would be, and there is not. It is a sad thing. There's more Wall Street Journals and New York Times than there's Mercury News, and that hits you in the face. And I began to see that at the LA Times, and I know people with, 14 and 15-year-olds, when my nephews and niece were growing up, they weren't reading the paper. And they're smart kids going to college. They are not reading the newspaper. They know, again, they seem to know about the paper. They seem to talk about the stories we're all talking about. They're not thumbing through the paper like I was. When I was going to Northwestern, we got the Chicago Tribune in our suite, and we went through it section by section. I think I might have been the last generation. And one time I met with the publisher, way back when, at the LA Times, Mark Willis, the much dated Mark Willis. When he was first bought the LA Times, well, whatever, he was first installed, or whatever he was, he came in and he met with a group of reporters one at a time. There was about 8 of us. Remember, David Shaw was one of them. And he asked us around the table what our biggest concern was, and this was probably, he was probably, 90, 96, 97, somewhere around there. And my concern was, I'm afraid I'm the last, might be part of the last generation that takes newspapers seriously. And I'll still stand by that. So I guess 96, 97, when I was really worried about it. I didn't think it was going to happen this fast, but it became pretty clear that I didn't know what the end game was if people who were, 5 years younger than me, 8 years younger than me, did not buy the newspaper. Well, they're never going to buy the newspaper. If they're not buying it at 30, they're not going to buy it at 35 and 40 and 45. And our audience is dying away. That was pretty obvious then. It's super obvious now.
Do you have any theory on why the newspaper lost its hold on the younger generation?
It's just, I think it's the delivery system. I mean, I think the information is just as needed or vital or, whatever, in demand, I guess I would say, as always. I mean, you just go to this presidential election, they couldn't get enough information. They couldn't get enough analysis and opinion. It's just the delivery system's gone. People aren't thinking about getting a newspaper dropped off in front of their front door. They're going to get up, and I do it myself. I get up in the morning, I click on the laptop. I get the paper, but it's at 10:30 after I've had breakfast and wandered around a little bit. If I'm employed by this newspaper and I look at it for free, the delivery system's done. The end of our system is the delivery system failed. And that happens. That happens all the time in technology. Things replace other things. The information is not being replaced. The delivery system where someone drives around and throws newspapers on people's front door at 6 o'clock in the morning, that's over with. That's not the way information's passed around, nor do people want it passed around. They want the information, though. That's unquestioned. They just don't necessarily, they definitely don't want it in a newspaper form. Or large percentages of them don't want it in newspaper form. It's delivered for free on the internet via handheld, whichever way you want to talk about it. It's just not a newspaper. I love the newspaper, obviously. I love having a newspaper. I love sitting back, drinking a cup of coffee, and reading it at the kitchen table. But I'm not enough to keep these things afloat, sadly.
What do you love and hate about your job?
Love the fact that it keeps me busy. I am a I have learned more and more that I am an active mind. I go from thing to thing. I don't like not doing stuff, which would shock professors of mine at Northwestern, I'm sure. But I've just gotten more and more. The more I can write, the more I will write. The internet has just got this out of me. I don't understand where it came from, but it's there. And what I dislike about it is that is the thing that I'm doing that it seems to be work out well for me is never going away. It's not like I can invent something and make up $2 billion and retire. I got to do this for the rest of my life now, which is a little scary. I don't know if I want to do it for the rest of my life, but it's what I do at this point. Not just the 3 or 4 columns a week, which now seems almost antiquated, but we all do them. But it's if something happens in the sports world, mostly related to the Bay Area, I want people to know that there's going to be something up on my blog. Well, if they have to know there's going to be something on the blog, there has to be something there on the blog. I can't get there by magic. I got to do it, and that's there's a little bit of weight to that, but that's okay. I wanted it that way. I knew it was going to happen that way. The reality itself, though, turns into I'm on vacation now. I'm probably blocked 3 times. That was not the case when we were pre-internet. When you're on vacation, you're on vacation. Something happens now where something uniquely that I can give a unique spin, I imagine, I want that up. And if it's not up, it's a loss for me. Not even a day off. I've lost the audience for that day, and I don't want to do that. So it becomes a little bit of a chain, but I got myself into it. We're all trying to figure it out. I can figure it out as we go, and I'm not tired of it, so I'm not going to complain about that.